Here's the clickbait that we got to defend against this week. Quinn Ewers in the first half against Georgia. It's not all working for him, right? It's Georgia on the other side. It is what it is. Gets pulled. We'll talk about that in a second, but he gets pulled. Arch Manning enters into the game. And one, my jaw was on my living room floor as soon as that happened. That's first. Second, Arch Manning doesn't really light it up necessarily. Has some success, doesn't light it up, but you knew the quarterback controversy take was going to be out there. At best, people were going to say, well, who's the quarterback at Texas now? At worst, you were going to hear people say, hey, Quinn Ewers, man, isn't the guy. We saw it against Georgia. Like, if you want to go win national titles, you probably got to beat Georgia. Quinn Ewers can't beat Georgia. By that formula, Quinn Ewers can't be our guy this year. And we just we've talked about this a few times, a little bit, not irritated, because we're never irritated talking college football. A little bit surprised we have to have this conversation right now, but we will anyway. Texas Longhorn fans, make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. A lot in front of you. College football playoff in front of you. SEC championship hope still in front of you. We're going to talk about all of it, so make sure you're locked in here. We appreciate you in advance for being subscribed. So here's what I will say. Arch Manning getting subbed in felt a little bit weird to me. Now, if you've watched this show or you just know me personally, I have been on the front line saying, hey, Arch Manning is going to be really good at Texas. I believe for a long time. Whenever they throw him the keys, you feel good about the future out there on the 40 acres, all right? Hear me clearly. However, the thing that felt weird to me was, hey, if we're Texas, struggling a little bit offensively, trying to get something going, trying to get some rhythm, and the pivot we make, the adjustment we make, is to pull Quinn Ewers and put in a redshirt freshman in Arch Manning. It's not, let's get more creative with our pre-snap movement and run the football. It's not, let's get Quinn Ewers some easy completions and just get him in a rhythm. It's, no, take out our starting quarterback that won us the Big 12 last year and beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That's the best pivot we have. And I want to also say, Steve Sarkisian has forgotten more about his football team, more about quarterback play than I will ever know. So I just completely surrender that talking point right there. But again, just from the outside looking in, to attack Georgia, the best pivot for us is to bring in a redshirt freshman and take out that quarterback, not something else. That's all I'll say. Felt weird to me. Again, the clickbait take is, hey, man, Quinn Ewers just isn't the guy. He must have hit his ceiling. For me, I'm just like, okay, if Quinn Ewers isn't the guy, let's just say that's the case now. What do you think a redshirt freshman is going to do for you? What do you think Arch Manning, the redshirt freshman, subbing him in against one of the best defensive staffs in college football, is going to do for you? We think that's the right answer? And again, this is not me attacking the Texas coaching staff. This is me talking to the folks that want to say Quinn Ewers has run his course. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, Arch Manning brings the mobile element. Totally understand that. Arch Manning, as good as I think he's going to be, reiterated in that game, there's going to be some growing pains if you roll with 16. This year, that is. Here's the deal, man. This roster at Texas, it's not a growing pains kind of roster. It's not. You got a defense that is number one in darn near every category in America. You got an offensive line that's experienced as all get out. You got weapons that can go win for you in the perimeter. Like, there's not a lot of other pieces on this team that are going to experience growing pains along with Arch Manning. And so for that reason, let Arch Manning have those growing pains behind closed doors as much as possible. His time is coming. But to say that the guy who beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, won the Big 12, got you to the college football playoff, throttled Michigan, and Michigan is what they are right now, but defensively still a good football team. Like, what are we doing? I don't get it. I think in college football, we're so passionate that sometimes that passion blinds us a little bit, and we have this grass is greener syndrome. Y'all, sometimes the grass is just green. Both sides. The grass is green. I hate to use this cliche. The grass is green where you water it. I'll tell you what now. You're still watering that Arch Manning grass right now. Quinn Ewers' grass has grown, to use too many alliterations there. Like, we're such in a hurry to get to the unknown that Arch Manning can be. He's going to be great. But right now, Quinn Ewers is your guy. And the Georgia game should not deter you from that idea and from that reality. It should not take away from everything he's done to this point as the quarterback at Texas. So we feel strongly about this, as you well know. This is not an anti-Arch Manning take. This is not an anti-Texas staff take at all. Do not hear me incorrectly. But the people saying Quinn Ewers isn't the guy, I would really ask you to do some soul searching, because I don't see it. I don't see it. The Hard Count brought to you by Roback. If you have some summer weather, or some, I guess it resembles more spring weather now, even though it's not the closest season to us. Regardless, if you got some heat still, cherish that. But for a lot of us, moving into pumpkin spice season, moving into crispy windshield season, lock in with Rhoback. They got everything you need. Joggers, tees, hoodies. They used to have a fleece, and that was absolute cash money. So if they have that, go grab that right now. Bottom line, they're taking care of all of us this college football season. If you say, JD, I'm not in crispy season just yet, for whatever reason, the Lord has smiled on us, and we got some heat still rolling. That's great. They got shorts. They got polos. Whatever you need for game day, I'm just telling you, Rhoback, they got you. All right, they are for the people, by the people. They've been with us since Waco, Texas. They are some college football real ones, and they have put their money where their mouth is, leading the NIL charge. They got people like Jalen Milroe dialed in, Quinn Ewers, Caleb Downs, Cade Klubnik. They're becoming the go-to brand for college athletes. So here's the deal. Here's where we save some money now. Together. So we do everything together on this show. Together. Use code JD on Rhoback.com for a generous, now 20% off all new customers. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. 20% off performance polos, shorts, hoodies, Q-zips. You're trying to keep it fresh for a game day. Whatever you need with code JD at Rhoback.com.